Hey guys, King of Charmander here. Today I'll be your judge, your jury, and your analyst. And today I give you the most powerful team for Great League so far as like PvP poke goes and statistically. And it's actually really dang good. It features G-Fist, Deoxys, Defense, and Trevanent. I'm doing a little modified one of this team though. I'm actually using Psycho Boost instead of Thunderbolts just because Azu safe switches are really good, but you can still come out with win cons just because you have Trev and G-Fist. So just trip with Rock Slide damage, and the reason why Thunderbolt is here so that you can take switch against, again, Azu. I don't feel comfortable just having one mon at target, and like with Rock Slide, you get to your move sooner. So Rock Slide Thunderbolt, Rock Slide Psycho Boost is what I'll be running for this team. So as you see here, it still follows the same component, so it's just a minor modification, but this team does rate at 583, which is insanely good. As a former top team creator for the #1 spot, this team can take you to legend. Actually take you to legend, so. And a lot of people are using it at 1.5%. So, as you see here, we're just going to analyze it, but I'm going to analyze the one I'm going to use for the Shoutcast. Again, not too much of a difference. Bees across the board. Good general team. 3 general really good mons, and 1 super mon, because the Trev Walrein core is broken. Walrein core is just broken. So as you see here, we get Thunderbolt, Rock Slide, so that I'm going to use Psycho Boost. So not too much of a difference for overall. As you see, your overall weaknesses, Diggersby, Gliscor, Gligar, Malamar, which is basically just ground types, but that's the problem. If you get locked into a ground type, you're in a lot of... You can't pull off a lot of fancy things. With Psycho Boost, you can pull... You could be fancy, and there's a few strategies you can... Like, for example, if you time your Psycho Boost right, you can win the 2 shield against Wishcash and against Swampert. Yes, you can do that. But it's a very advanced play, takes a lot of skill, and just, if I've had so many reps with Deoxys defense, I can do it naturally, so. As you see, if you put in Psycho Boost, there's going to, Rock Slide, not this one. Switch over. Rock Slide, Psycho Boost. Okay, there you go. Okay, save, and then after that, you put rate. And then as you see, there's not going to be much of a difference. Still the same grades, but as you see here, in comparison to being completely locked against a lot of the, against Diggersby, etc., with Psycho Boost, you're able to get stronger matchups. Lower threat score, and again, with Psycho Boost, you can double up, and there's a lot of sweet plays you can pull over there, so I really like Psycho Boost above the double Rock Slide Thunderbolt, because Thunderbolt's, again, just really there to take the Azu or Jelly matchups, which are going to be really rough in general, despite that fact. So, before I conclude and show you these battles, my mental health tip for the day. Anxiety. You are probably really anxious right now. I'm doing this video in the last minute hopes because you have 100 battles, but you have like 3 hours left by the time I publish this video. So, hopefully this team works for you and pushes you to the last rank of legend. But, for anxiety, take a deep breath. You did your best. Okay? If you haven't made legend at this point, either you just have really bad luck, which can happen. Don't get me wrong, it can happen. Like, literally, I've had it to where, like, the last day or something like that. But this was way back when it was a lot harder to make rank 10/legend because you had a very limited amount of time in comparison to now. But you should have made legend pretty comfortably by now. If you didn't, again, you practice, work harder. You're alive. You're alive, you're breathing. You have food, you have a roof. Look at all the little things and be grateful for life, because Pro Battle League and Pokemon Go PvP honestly isn't that big. No, seriously, it's not. We still don't have a major. We don't have a pro league. Worlds is nothing. Trust me. Like, Pokemon Go esports, Pokemon esports in general versus like Halo esports, Rocket League, we get beat out by cars that kick a ball. Literally. Rocket League, if you look at Rocket League Championship Series, they get more views and more exposure. They are sponsored by like Ford, and they have really big sponsors and everything like that. They have their own pro league. They have LAN. They're already having LANs. Like, yeah, they're having live tournaments already. They bubble their teams. And again, they get like hundreds of thousands of views in compared to Pokemon Go PvP. So, Pokemon Go PvP is not exciting, and it's not that great. Yes, I play it. Yes, I create content, but that's just the honest to God truth. I'm a therapist. Therapists have to be truthful with themselves as well as their audience. Because if I'm not truthful with myself, then I'm just it's called transfer transference for your patients. So, yeah. It's truthful. It's the truth. We're not that great. We aren't. And the failure of the community and the failure of just Pokemon in general is just the failure to realize that our esport isn't that great and it's in need of a major revamp. So don't feel that bad. No, seriously, if you have an Apex Legends Pro and then you have a Pokemon Go Pro, no one will probably give a crap about the Pokemon Go Pro. Very little. But if you say Apex Legends, so many people will be like, oh my gosh, I recognize that. And then Pokemon Go, you probably get the thing where like, oh, you still play that game? So again, if you didn't make Legend, don't be anxious. It's okay. It's not that great of a game, honestly, and there's a lot of flaws in it. It definitely needs to be fixed. But you're fine. There's always another tomorrow. You have 3 months of a break and then on to the next one, which is a freebie season. And then the next season, you can study up, practice to get prepared. Study, practice, and you too can be a legend if you have not been one already. This is coming from Multi-Legend and one of the most unique team builders of all time in this freaking game. You're fine. You're great. You can do it. Build, train, defeat, improve, and destroy. And now, I hope you guys enjoyed the shoutcast. Alright, here are the battles. Again, this is the strongest team, and I run through a bunch of legends here, so our gatekeep really hard. As you see, we get Stunfisk onto Altaria. We already know this is a super positive match for us, and we get Deoxys defense. So, I ideally should swap into Trevanent at this point. You can choose to swap into Trevanent, or you can stay in with Stunfisk. My idea here is I want to do chip damage or break shields, and I want to basically have this Deoxys defense blow its energy. I switch later into my own Deoxys defense. I'm just being a little fancy here. I ideally should have just switched into Trevanent, but I wanted to mirror with DD because I would win this matchup anyways. With the chip damage from my G-Fisk, I should be able to just straight Rock Slide, as you see here. I'm using Rock Slide instead of Thunderbolt because you're going to get Azu thrown into you. Deoxys defense is a safe switch, but I'm just used to playing Psycho Boost more. So you can use Thunderbolt instead of Psycho Boost, but Psycho Boost can create win cons for you. And if you do get your Azu into you, yeah, usually it's just to counter the Azu safe switch. As you see here, the timer is up and my opponent switches back into Altaria, which is okay because we have Rock Slide with Deoxys defense. So we're going to do chip damage here. And as you see, I still have shield advantage and G-Fisk is still really healthy. I try to get to the Psycho Boost, but I need one more counter of energy, but that's perfectly fine. I can eat Sky Attacks really comfortably here. This is basically going to be almost RPS. As you see, the Sky Attack goes off, and then all we're going to do here is just get a bazillion energy. I'm going to overcharge and then fire the Rock Slide. So my opponent's going to either send in DD to farm me down, or they're going to reveal their back row mon. As you see, we take out the big giant cloud bird, which it's like a Nimbus cloud. I call it the Nimbus bird because, because of Dragon Ball Z. For those of you that are animators like I am, I love Dragon Ball Z. And for our Dragon Ball Super, as it calls now, because Dragon Ball Z is really old school, but hopefully you did watch it. As you see, my opponent does Psycho Boost. I will shield at this point. There's really no reason for me to keep all of this energy. And they send our up 2 shields, and they send in their Ferrothorn. Again, it's good to be up 2 shields, but if you're in like the closing scenario of the battle here, there's really no reason to keep 2 shields. I'm not going to shield this. It's probably going to be a power whip, but I can eat it pretty comfortably. Even though my Trev's IVs are absolute garbage because this is a Trev. I didn't grind hard for the Trevanent event, which I probably should have, so I don't have a good one. But this shows you just how IVs don't really matter too much in the long run. Unless it's like 1 HP in a dream and it's super close. But as you see here, well, I'm not going to shield this because they need a mirror shot me and power whip me to go to victory. You can pretty much sense this already. Like, I already knew this. I didn't really stress about it because you could straight up power whip me, but I still have a shield. So as long as I have that shield, I still would be able to get to a Rock Slide anyways on my G-Fisk, and this would have been GG's anyway. So pretty much not super RPS, but that's GG's. I think the way my opponent could have won this matchup is like power whip down and possibly try to farm me down with Deoxys defense. That was a better win con, and keep my shield. That would have been a lot closer than as you see here. But I did call the bait, and they didn't get the debuff, so it's what it is. So GG's to my opponent. And as you see, we're going to gate people really hard right now. We got this Deoxys defense into G-Fisk. This isn't actually a bad matchup. So fun fact about the Deoxys defense versus the G-Fisk matchup. If you go to 100 energy and you Psycho Boost at the right intervals, you can possibly take the lead in this scenario. That's really advanced, but I only know that because I played Deoxys defense for so long. I broke it into the #1 team in Season 4 with my Shadow Shiftery, Deoxys defense, and G-Fisk. And I claim fame to that team because as soon as G-Fisk was released, I started using that team. I broke it into the top 3 in Season 2, and then I managed to break it in with the Shadow version as the #1 team in Season 4. So Again, so used to playing Deoxys defense, but that's a small niche. Not a lot of people actually know about that strategy with Deoxys defense, where being able to win the 2-shield against G-Fisk, or just being able to take it in general. As you see here, we get Vigoroth into Deoxys defense. All I'm going to do is eat all the body slams, because Deoxys defense can comfortably live pretty much anything you have to throw at me. And I can already sense this is triple fighter, isn't it? It probably has a Scrafty or an Obstagoon in the back, something of that sort. So this is pretty much GG's for my opponent. All I'm going to do is I have so much control over this matchup right now. I'm going to send in G-Fisk, and then as you see here, we get the Scrafty. Beautiful switch by my opponent, but it doesn't really matter at this point, because the reason being is because Trevanent versus Scrafty in even shield scenarios isn't a bad matchup for our Trevanent, just because of the fact that C-Bomb does so much damage, and you do outpace Scrafty to their foul plays. So, just because Shadow Claw's beastly. As you see here, we're just going to straight up Seed Bomb to death this Scrafty's probably going to straight foul play me. I'm just going to double shield. It would be smart of them to bait, but at the same time, they know they have to get a foul play through shields in order to take the W from me right now. So, as you see, I'm just trying to fire on the right interval so they don't get any extra counters through, which works perfectly fine. As you see here, we're just going to straight Seed Bomb to death. Bombs of the seeds for days, and my opponent does not actually shield, which is kind of weird, because I'm like, you should ideally shield. Because all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to shield here, and then all I'm going to do is just farm this thing down, and then I'm going to be, or they switch into Deoxys defense. I farm down Deoxys defense, double Seed Bomb, and that's GG. So, probably a Psycho Boost, perfectly fine. I should be able to eat it. And then I'm going to send in G-Fist. The reason I'm going to send in G-Fist is because all I'm going to do is farm down here, as you see here. So I'm just going to farm down. I can tank a Psycho Boost. I can tank Thunderbolt. Just because you're already -2, I can tank either one. And then I just double Rock Slide for the W. As you see, Psycho Boost goes off. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to fire double Rock Slides, and that should be GG's. This Scrafty is so hurt that even though Rock Slide is resisted, it's still going to KO, just because, like I mentioned, this Scrafty is really hurt right now. That Mohawk is pretty cool, but you know what's cooler? A bunch of rocks falling on your head. Not really. That's not cool. That's a lot of concussions. I'm just saying. And that's GG's. So, triple fighter. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yay. But this seems still really good, as you see here. So, again, Deoxys defense versus G-Fisk. You can take the 2-shield scenario if you know how to play it. But as you see here, we're gatekeeping again, and we get Talonflame into G-Fisk, which is a great lead for us. Fun fact, you win the 2-shield pretty hard, but you gotta make sure that there's no incinerates that go through, which is why I'm carefully timing my mud shots, so that I don't get, my charge moves, so you don't get any extra incinerates through. Because one incinerate sucks, but for Talonflame, if it does get that energy lead, you can get to 3 flame charges, and then you're in a lot of trouble. So you gotta be careful. You gotta be really careful. So as you see here, we're just being very careful. Also, you have to watch out for your opponent trying to switch in, so that's why I'm just firing on during the animation, as you see here, for the interval. We get both in, and I'm just trying to be really careful, because again, might try to switch out. They fire their second move, and my opponent might switch out at this point, so I'm being very careful. As you see, we're gonna shield the second one, and as predicted, they send in their Registeel. They try to cast a Rock Slide, great move on their part, but what I'm gonna do is gonna Earthquake here. I Earthquake, and then I can send in Deoxys defense for right now, or I can wall this thing with Trevanent, because this is likely a Zap Cannon Focus Splash Registeel. As you see here, I send in Trevanent. They're going to fire the Zap Cannon. That's perfectly fine, though. This is actually worse for my opponent, because since you're going to debuff me, this lets me get more farm. So I get debuffed by attack, but as you see, I'm able to get more farm, so I don't know if that was the right idea. So, yeah. But it doesn't really matter anyways, because Lock-On does 1 damage. Unless you're double debuffed, then yeah. Yeah. But as you see here, all we're going to do is get a bazillion energy, and we get a Nidoqueen, which is great, because we have Deoxys defense with Psycho Boost. This is why I like Psycho Boost, because if you happen to get a poison type like Nidoqueen, you have a win condition. And as you see here, opponent's going to send in Talonflame. We still get to a Shadow Ball. Even though my freaking Trevenant is terrible IVs, it lives the 1 HP in the Dream, and Hadouken! So as you see here, we get the... And then all we're going to do is they actually fire their move, which is great, because now I can comfortably farm down this Talonflame. I can farm down with G-Fisk. I can also farm down with DD, but I'm going to farm down with DD anyway, just because all I have to do to get my win condition here is get to a Psycho Boost and then fire, and that should be GG's. Nothing this Nidoqueen throws at me will be able to KO. All I'm going to do is I'm going to boost down, go for the boost, and then the boost goes through, and then that's GG's. That's why I like Psycho Boost, though, because of the poison typing. Because if you do get something like Nidoqueen, again, you can get walled. So that's why I don't like Thunderbolt Rock Slide. It's either Psycho Boost Thunderbolt or Psycho Boost Rock Slide. Either one. So As you see, we go on to the next battle, and we are freaking gatekeeping hard as heck. This person's in the 2900s, but I gotta, sorry, dude, I gotta win for content. And they actually win the lead here. Trevanent versus Gfisk is a great lead for our opponent. All I'm gonna do here, though, is bully through my opponent. The idea here is to do as much tip damage as possible. Then I'm gonna send in Trevanent, farm it down. It's gonna have some energy left for whatever I'm gonna throw it in the back. We're gonna just straight throw rock slides here. We're gonna throw all the rocks. Rocks. Rock slides are gonna go through. I see our opponent is just going to Shadow Claw hard as heck. They are trying to... This is probably a Shadow Ball. Honestly, you should just go Seed Bomb. Because, yes, Shadow Ball does big damage, but at the same time... Okay, so they catch a move, which I'm like... But anything you can do, I can do better. Because all I'm going to do is get my energy back. And not only that, with absolute zen, and because my subconscious is very strong, and I'm goated in this game, I catch the Focus Blast. And as you see here, yes, in the right timing, in the right intervals, bam! No counting necessary. Or sound necessary, because usually you count on 1 for and fast moves with sound. I'm making a video on that soon, so for advanced PvP tips, check out the channel soon, because my final, I know I keep saying that tutorial's coming, but it's coming soon, and I'm going to start off with, like, advanced PvP tips, and then beginner tips, because Worlds is coming, and there's an interlude for PvP, which would be, which I'm going to work on, so I'm going to make sure to put that together. They managed to get to a 1 HP in a Dream move, and as you see, Zapcan does big damage, which is fine, because I don't want my Trev to get farmed anyways. And I'm down shield, so... As you see, they send in their own Trev, and then I'm kind of in trouble, but because I have so much energy left over, all I'm going to do is send in Gfisk, and then we're just going to straight Rock Slide down. Our opponent should start shielding at this point, and hopefully you bait this time around. Because I'm like, if you... ideally, you should bait. You should seriously bait, but they're probably going to ball out. Ball so hard that, but these shields will just shield all this damage. I go 1 over, and then I'm going to fire another Rock Slide. I can go more over, but that's okay. So as you see, Rock Slide goes off, and then as you see here, they have a Walrein in the back. The Walrein Trevcore, which is obscenely overpowered in Open Great League, but as you see, this team is very powerful, taking out people trying to get the Legend and Legends in general. Or Legend level players, because everyone here, if you're at 2900, you're pretty much Legend level, if not can make Legend. But as you see here, we're going to gatekeep hard as heck. This is probably going to be Earthquake. Even it is, they don't know I have DD in the back. All I'm going to do is just counter down. I'm going to counter down no matter what move they throw. This is GG's, because it doesn't matter if they have the shield or not. The counter damage, just fast move down, and that's going to be GG's, which is another video that's going to come out for advanced win conditions. Now, as you see, we're just going to punch down, and they top left because they already know it's GG's, and the game is struggling to register the fact that they quit out, so that's why you saw me lag. And I was like, really, dude? Really, dude? I hope this is fixed before Worlds. Probably not. Don't count on it. It's like Toy Story, you know what I mean? When Woody shakes the magic 8-ball, and then it says... He asked for something, he's like, don't count on it. And as you see, we got Legend on Legend action for the last one. And we got Stunfisk on Stunfisk. This is an interesting mirror match, because usually whoever baits or gets through shields win. And I'm actually going to be the terrible one. As you see here, I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake. I normally go straight for the Earthquake for the first one, and then I start Rock Sliding, but then I actually straight... Yeah. But somehow, some way, because King of Charmez is a fucking G at this game... Despite the fact that I get jebaited so hard. It's like, yeah, I get jebaited so hard. There's another jebait. And then I'm just gonna get jebaited again. I get hella jebaited. So jebaited. Jebaited AF. Jebaited my elo. Jebaited, or like, King of Charmers, how do you win this match? As you see, I got jebaited hell. I got jebaited again. And my brain is like, are you freaking serious? So, my game plan here is I'm going to try to catch an Earthquake on Trevanent, because grass resists ground. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I actually don't get it. So, I catch them, but as you see here, my opponent I get the right interval, but they still hit the Rock Slide on the last second. So, good fix by my opponent. I'm going for the Seed Bomb, and I overcharge a little bit because I'm like, they're probably going to swap out, and they do. And here's what sucks. If you've noticed, I'm actually lagging. Because, watch this, Shadow Ball goes off, and I should be able to farm down. And my opponent gets to a Frenzy Plant. That shouldn't happen in that scenario, because I already have so much energy left over. So, yeah. I lagged super hard, and I was pissed. Because it takes 6 to get to there, and I was already at 100, so I should have been able to farm down, but it's okay. I send Deoxys defense, and as you see here, I'm just wanting to get that extra farm. My idea is to Psycho Boost down here, and I'm going to have to create a fancy win con anyway. So, as you see, Earthquake goes off. I'm just trying to boot, like, as you see, I get to the Psycho Boost. I do this at the right interval because in the red right here, this will KO, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to send in Gfisk. And I don't even get the KO, which is terrible. So I'm like, oh my god, this is bad. So as you see, Rock Slide goes off. That's perfectly fine. I'll still live it. I send in G-Fisk, and it's a Pelipper, and this is GG's. Because since I have that energy lead on G-Fisk, and it wasn't actually... Yeah, since I have the energy lead on G-Fisk, you need 2 Weather Balls to kill me, and I will get to 2 Rock Slides before you can get there. Even if you lock in on CMP, you won't get to 2 Weather Balls, and that's why this is GG's. Despite the fact that they won the mirror match hard as heck, and I got go battle lagged because I'm still good at this game. This is GG's. 1 fast move down will win the game for me, and that's GG's. Hopefully this team helps you guys out and pushes you to Legend for the last day of Go Battle League Season 10. And that's GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Good luck on you going for those last 100 battles. I really feel for you guys, and hopefully this team does help you out. It's factually incredibly powerful, and with expert energy and shield management, which a lot of you should have already if you're at this level, hopefully it'll Hail Mary you to Legend. Take all my energy, take all my luck. For those of you trying to compete in Worlds, I might actually compete in Worlds, so I'm still figuring it out. I'm really hoping there's one close to the west, though, because I could fly to the east, but with all the weather warnings and everything out right now, I really don't want to get stuck in the snow. So, again, it's kind of surprising that, like, for Worlds, like, everything is literally in the east side of the United States and nothing in the west. Or you have Canada up there, which is just dumb, because California and Texas are 2 of the biggest states, yet we don't have regionals, which is dumb. But again, it's a practice thing, so maybe live regionals in the future, who knows. But again, like, don't stress about it, don't be anxious about it. Again, this is a test run for Pokemon Go PvP. I can already foresee a lot of problems, so we may end up on the chopping block as far as, like, competitive goes, because Pokemon Unite is making a lot of strides right now, and that game has a lot more potential than Pokemon Go PvP, unless not only is it fixed, but there's a massive overhaul in the system, because this ain't it, Chief. Anyways, good luck on your freaking Legend runs. You guys are champions. If you're watching my video, y'all are trying hard, or you're already there. For those of you that made it, congratulations. For you who are almost there, you can do it. I believe in you. As your content has, I believe in you. And take all my energy and all my luck. And you guys are awesome. Whether you make it or not, it's fine. You're alive. You're breathing. You can fight to live another day. And that's what's more important than anything else. Do me a huge favor. Next to you 2 Shrine Managers, can you please like and subscribe? It's totally free. And you can easily subscribe by using that little box at the bottom right that says subscribe. Put your mouse over it. Bam. Easily subscribe. Really helps out the channel. Really appreciate my current subscribers. Love my community. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets. And I will see you guys on the next video. Actually, I'll see you guys in Season 11, which, yeah. Season 11. Yay.